It's the weekly show about rAVe with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Good morning, everyone. It's Gary K and Steph Beckett together. Can you believe it, Steph?
Again at last. Yeah.
We were talking about that before we went live. This is the first time we've been together in like a month. Like you've been traveling.
Yeah.
I think I was traveling once.
Yep.
So just to tell everybody where you are. Well, first off, we should say for those of you who are new, like this is rAVe TV, the industry's only live TV show. We come to you live on Wednesday mornings at 9 a.m. And then we restream at noon. And so, you know, you can see us on rAVe Pubs, on YouTube /rAVe Pubs, on X, and Facebook. I think those are the four. Oh, LinkedIn. Yeah, that's right. So, but anyway, where are you, Steph? Tell them why you're there.
I am in Chicago. I am leaving today, but yesterday was the final stop of Almo rAVe's E4 experience. I have been all over the country with them this year, and we finished strong in Chicago, which is a huge market for Almo. So it was a giant stop. I think like 700 and something people had registered. So really busy stop and very full. All of my sessions and tours and everything that I did were quite full. So it was awesome.
Well, congratulations. I know that's always their best. I'm pretty sure it's their best turnout every year. That's like their top turnout. And it's just, you know, Chicago's in the middle of the country. They've got a lot of traction there. But I should also mention, and I kind of set her up a little bit. Steph had a record turnout to her session. She did an educational session. I did a couple of educational sessions, but one of them, I think you had almost 50 people, didn't you?
Yes, I think it was like 40 something came, which was so wild because I'm used to doing like this with you, where we don't see who's watching. Like for all I know, it's 5 people and whatever. That's great.
A little more than that, but yeah.
But when you're looking and you just see the sea of eyes like looking back at you, and it feels so much more intimate than my background in theater. So it's like I'm talking directly to them. So it was really intimidating, but they laughed at a couple of my jokes, which really, really made me feel better.
Can you tell us the joke?
The one where I was
wait, hold on. If you tell us the joke, does it ruin next year's sessions, or are you going to come up with a new set?
I'll come up with new jokes and new material.
I don't want I don't want to Seinfeld you or anything like that, where you run out of jokes, but go ahead.
There's one that they really loved, and it was when I talked about like projection versus LEDs and, you know, where we see the future of that going. And I was like, you know, people have been arguing about this since before I was here, and they will be arguing about this long after I'm gone.
Yeah, and true. I think the last time when they first started the argument, you were probably in middle school. So that's the thing. It's been going on for that long.
So people are going to be arguing about this long after I shuffle off this mortal coil, and that got some chuckles. And then I do this joke at the end of every session where I'm like, hey, if you hated this, make sure to tell Almo. And remember who gave you this session? It's Gary K.
Yeah, I know you done with that joke.
And then, and I put your picture up there. And then I'm like, but if you like this session, you can say that Steph Beckett taught it.
I'm not surprised. Throwing me under the bus just because I'm not there.
I had to do like one little dig. But I think people have told you that I did that before. Someone snitched. They texted you in Dallas.
That you insulted me. So, hey, I know you're a huge Swiftie.
Yes.
Taylor Swift fan.
It's true.
And it's been interesting the last month because I've noticed that they're not showing her on TV at the games anymore, even though I know she's at the games. So I don't know if it's some kind of contractual dispute. I also know that they tried to get her to do the halftime show, but they couldn't get her to do it. They couldn't come to terms. And now we are getting who are we getting again? I forgot. They just announced.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, who's from he's Puerto Rican, kind of pop rap together, kind of.
Yeah.
What would you call it? I mean, I don't know. I'm not. There's probably a genre for what he does.
It's kind of, yeah, I would say it's like pop music. I think like a lot of it is inspired by like reggaeton.
Yeah, there you go. And then, but the interesting thing about Taylor Swift is, she released a movie
Hmm.
through only AMC theaters for 3 days this past weekend,
Hmm.
and grossed over $50 million in just
Yep.
3 days, which is pretty amazing.
Yep.
Steph, what did you think of the movie?
So it was really interesting because only she could do this. It was basically gathering her fans over 3 days to premiere her music video for the top single
It was
early.
not just a music video, was it?
No, so it was a music video and then the lyric videos for all of the songs. And then she would do short explanations between
Oh,
each
okay.
one of like, here is my inspiration for how I wrote this. Um,
Okay. Did she
so
include the dispute with Charlie XOX? What is
Oh,
it? What is it?
XCX.
Yeah,
Oh, good
XOX.
job, Gary. You've been on the
Yeah, did
internet.
she
I'm really
include?
proud of
I
you.
pay attention to pop culture. I
I'm
have to because
proud of you. You've been on
I
TikTok.
teach advertising, and sometimes here's the truth. Steph
Yeah,
knows I pay attention to pop culture.
yeah,
I watch Real Housewives, I'm into
yeah.
all. Okay,
I know your Peacock app is busy.
it is, but the truth of the matter is, sometimes I see things I do not understand,
Yeah,
and so
totally.
I send it to Steph, and Steph deciphers it for me.
Yeah, I do.
Anyway, so she even explained that.
Yes, but like
Wow.
not in so many terms. She was just basically like, I wrote this song about like someone having beef with you and you
Yeah.
haven't even thought about them in 2 years. So it's kind of like, oh, well, thank you so much for like thinking about me. Like, that's actually really sweet. I haven't thought about you at all, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, the beef is continuing. Charlie XCX tweeted a picture in a music studio. So she might be working on like a response track,
Response video. That's great because people will listen to it. But
and I will be the first one. I'm here for it. Whatever gets me more music to listen to, I'll
so
enjoy
the
it.
so the Eras tour video
Yes.
movie release did
Yes.
261 million
Yes.
in the theater. So what's the difference? What happened here? Is it just not been out long enough, or do you think that
Well, it was a limited release, right? She only
right?
did it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then it cut off. And then the music video got live for everyone Sunday night.
Do you think that the album is not as good?
No, I don't think it's as good, to be so honest.
Okay.
But I am not a fan. Ugh, this sounds mean, but like her saddest albums are my favorite albums.
Okay.
So
You
like,
need her depressed.
yeah,
So hopefully what you're saying is that 13, which is going to be a special album, she
mhm.
needs to have broken up with Kelsey. So,
No, I mean like I
and
don't
then
want
you
to
get some really good music is what you're saying.
but I just think that like at her best, she writes like the most poignant things and like can really, really pinpoint a feeling that and like does that so beautifully. So for her to kind of like I feel like this album was just like kind of a collection of like maybe songs that didn't work on other albums. That's how it
Okay.
felt to me. It didn't really feel like they all went together. So I think that's kind of like where it fell apart for me. And also sometimes I just find her to be really millennial cringe.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That
Where
makes
like she's making too many like very jarringly millennial references and she's losing all of the Gen Z people because they're like, oh God, can't listen to that.
okay. I buy that. I should mention also that there's a wrap of the Almo E4 Experience Tour
Yes.
on our website. Steph poignantly wrote, I guess yesterday. You can go read it at raypubs.com. You should check that article out because it tells you all about the tour. And, they haven't announced the dates next year, but we know that they're going to do it again next year.
Yep.
So maybe get you interested in it. But also, I wanted to also mention the temperature check for the month of October. I'm excited about this one because you're talking about a segment of the industry I'm really kind of bullish on, and that's esports. So the idea behind this is to find out what you think about esports and sort of where you are in the realm of esports. Of course, this is brought to you every month with a partnership in partnership with ADI and Snap One.
Mhm.
And the cool thing is that you could actually earn a $50 Amazon gift card for filling this out if you'll take a chance. Not everybody gets one, but somebody will get one.
2 people.
Yeah. So you can check that out at raypubs.com. And also, we sound good and look good because of our partnerships with Crestron and Shure, and we got this piece on the Crestron Flex Pods again. So check it out.
Okay, so kind of coming back. So I took Lightware's USB masterclass, and I wrote a piece about it, kind of like wrapping up a little bit of what I learned. I didn't write down everything because that would be like so long and so boring to read, but I kind of I wrote some, like, because you don't want to see a list of like, here's some facts about USB-C. But I tried to make it interesting, like write it in a way that like you guys would like. And the class was actually really cool. It's Leslie Koch who teaches it, and she is the director of training for the Americas, and she is really, really good and really, really interesting and dynamic as an instructor. So definitely, like, I highly recommend doing this webinar. I learned so much about USB-C that I did not know before. And obviously it won our Reader's Choice Award for Best Webinar Series. But the thing is, you can take it. It's coming up again. It's coming up on October 14th. So you can register. So if you want to read my piece and see if this is something that like you find interesting, that you would like to learn about, definitely read it, check it out. And it's October 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I included a link to sign up at the bottom of my article. So do it.
All right. You should do it. All right, let's see. What's our next story? Our next story is all about QSC, and actually, they just today literally expanded the full stack AV platform, added cameras, audio, and software updates to the QSys AV platform, which everyone's familiar with. The new NC90 and NC Pro 15X network cameras are added to the platform. The QIO series of audio inputs and output devices. And the space utilization for the QSys Reflect, the QSys library, and NS Gen 2 switches are all on the platform now. They're constantly doing updates. They're calling it now, technically, Steph, a full stack AV platform, sort of emulating the IT world in that description. So yeah, I mean, they're all about software. So go check it out. If you're a QSys user, then you're probably interested in that.
Yep. Next up, Airtame has added screen sharing and signage support to the Amazon signage stick. So this basically gives organizations a very affordable way to enable wireless screen sharing, digital signage, and emergency alerts on your shared displays. So basically, it's an app that you can set as the default signage app during setup, so then it lets users display announcements, dashboards, critical alerts. So this is going to be for you if you kind of struggle with digital signage content and need an easy way to deploy that. This is going to be an option for you.
All right. So in interesting news that I think sort of indicates what a lot of companies are doing, Sennheiser's relocated their U.S. headquarters from Connecticut to Nashville. Now, to me, this seems like very logical because home of music, they're big music player. But of course, they make a lot of other stuff too. But what I think is more interesting is they're moving out of the Northeast into the South. We've seen a trend here. I mean, obviously, Steph knows this because we live here. Cisco moved their U.S. headquarters here. Apple's building a gigantic facility here. There's the tech industries, obviously, Lenovo's headquarters here. There's a lot of tech companies here in the South. Atlanta's been a big boom area. Nashville, I was reading, I think Nashville's like the next location for that boring company to make a tunnel that goes from the airport to downtown Nashville. So, it makes sense that they're doing this. And I think, I'm sure it's got to be not only just more central-ish located, but also got to be a lot less expensive to live there.
Yeah.
And isn't that one of the places that Taylor Swift hangs out?
Yeah, because I think
So maybe they're getting closer to their talent.
Yeah, they are. Everyone's trying to get closer to Taylor Swift. That's what it is.
Speaking of talent,
yes,
Steph and I are appreciative of Shure for making us sound better. And of course, as you know, we've been talking about for the last year and a half the IntelliMix room systems from Shure, and this is a great overview video of sort of everything they have now, because as you know, they've introduced these new room kits which sort of simplify UC systems using Shure. So check this out. All right. Planar launched a new line of COB microLED video wall products. Obviously, LED using microLED technology. COB means a lot less expensive to manufacture, but also a lot more reliable. It's called Komodo. I'm not a giant fan of the name, but I see where they're going with this. The contrast between Komodo dragons being brown and boring and the brilliant video quality of LED. I get it. I like where they're going with that. But in any case, hey, who cares what I think? Komodo's the name of it. It's called the Komodo series, and it's available in 0.7, 0.9, 1.2 millimeters so far. They're going to have more. It is DCI P3 color rated. That's the Digital Cinema Initiative. So therefore, Steph, this could technically be used in theaters. It's going to be in more likely home theaters or screening rooms, things like that. It can be it's as bright as up to 1,000 nits, which is twice the brightness of the brightest LCD that you're going to get. And it does support, because of their processing. They have the Helios LCD, the LED processing. Supports up to 8K resolution inputs, and they have, depending on what size you can get in HD, 4K, 5K, right, which is the ultra wide for like Microsoft Teams, and then of course 8K displays. We have all the details on our website. I think we're the first ones to launch it, and we're actually going to do. They're part of Launch Week 12, so they're going to talk about this quite a bit.
Yeah, and we're going to get to show everybody and kind of talk about it. So I think it's cool.
Good.
So another piece of news, Neat has launched Neat Open. So basically this is kind of for the BYOD folks, because it's a mode designed to make BYOD spaces more flexible if you use Neat devices. So basically this is going to be available, I think, by spring. So it combines bring your own device with access to their app and some AI powered features, and it's all managed through Neat Pulse, which is their management. And the goal is to basically help organizations get more out of bring your own device rooms, whether during video calls or in person. So I think that there's just sometimes a lack of single user experience and, all of that. So I think this is kind of their answer to that. And users can connect via USB-C to access the microphones, the cameras, the speakers. And so I think it's just made to make that a little bit more streamlined and a little easier to use.
All right, Steph, I think we ought to have Tom LeBlanc on rAVe TV next week. So I think you should try to get him, because they just released their 2025 financial analysis of the industry. Now, here's some of the key data points. 100 integrators participated in this. They participate confidentially, and it's includes US, Canada, and Puerto Rico. Okay, so here's some key data. 72%, okay, is now design build. 72% of the work those integrators are doing is design build, which means that they're not bidding it. They own the customer relationship, and they're designing a system for the customer that they already have that relationship with. They're not having to go out to bid for it, right? That's up. And that indicates a good direction for the industry. Also, median gross profit margins rose to 34%, 34.2 specifically. So we're now getting back to the margins that we had in the 90s. Like, we're literally getting back to those gross margins. And again, these are not selling an LCD or an LED. These are turnkey systems, right? The systems that integrators are doing, and the majority of those 100 integrators that were surveyed on for this said that they are at near or full capacity in their workload right now. So they really can't, as long as the workload maintains where it is, bookings maintain where they are historically, they're going to stay at capacity. And some have actually reported revenue, I should say, record managed services revenue. Now, we're not an industry that's really known for managed services. We're more of an industry that's known for like after sales support services, not managed services, but ultimately managed services is where we want to get, because that's like what the IT market is. So we're seeing that come around. This bodes well for companies like Excite that offer a cloud management platform, as an example. Shore's cloud system, that this bodes well for stuff like that, because integrators are becoming more knowledgeable about this stuff and how to use it and leverage it. So I'm excited about this report. So I think Tom should come on and we should sort of like talk and take a little bit more in-depth look. And also, I'm kind of curious, Steph, of what the size, those 100 integrators, what does that equal as far as the amount of business in the industry? Because as you know, maybe I want to say a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, we published an article. I'm sure you can find it at ravepubs.com if you search Avixa, where Avixa said that 2025, the industry is going to be, it's going to end up being about 330 billion, something like that. But expected to be 400 and say 10 billion by 2030, which was down. They actually lowered their projections, because last year they said it was like 410, and this year they said 404, something like that. You can look it up, Steph. I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head, but I would love to see where NSCA says the industry is, because although this is only North American for the most part, it's still going to be a good indicator globally as to how big our industry is. So, anyway,
100%.
So if you could try to get, I don't know, try to get him on. Maybe we can get your people to work on it.
I will email him. Okay. My people. Sorry, my people. My people.
You didn't even respond to that like you had.
My people. So last story, PowerSoft has joined JetBuilt to kind of streamline proposals, project management, and all of that. So basically what this means is consultants, integrators, and end users now have direct access to the up-to-date specs for PowerSoft's products via the JetBuilt platform. So they can also customize products within the database to reflect like labor, shipping, tax, pricing. Like, you can get all of that information in real time. So yeah, congratulations to both of those companies. So that just kind of makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, and kudos to Morgan, our new president of rAVe. She actually handles both those companies' PR too. So that's actually kind of cool that they're doing that partnership. So launch week 12 is coming up. We alluded to it earlier, October 28th through the 30th, which is like, I don't know, like 3 weeks from today, actually. I think.
Jesus. I have so much work to do.
Steph, get to it. It's 3 CTSs per day, CTSI and CTSD, as well as regular CTS. We'll take care of all the processing for you. We'll make sure everything goes through. We have a experiential signage day. We have an ed tech day, and we have a
rAVe day.
rAVe day. Okay, good. That's why you're here, because you remember.
Yeah, that's it. That's why.
Right.
but yeah, I'm really excited. I've been kind of working really hard at making sure these sessions are what people actually care to sit through and like care to learn about. So I'm really excited to kind of show that in this launch week. So really hope it's successful. So I hope you will check it out. The page is on lavnch.com, and you can kind of check out some of the sessions that we're planning, and you can kind of see the speakers who have joined so far. And it's going to be a good week. So
hey, I know something you don't know, by the way, about Taylor Swift.
You know a lot of things I don't know. What?
No, about Taylor Swift.
Oh, about Taylor Swift. What?
Yeah. So if you go to her website and you hold your mouse down on a specific location, the bottom, there's like a door there, and you hold your mouse down, but you have to hold it down for 12 seconds. It unlocks a secret back end website that tells you where all of her her concert tour is going to go, which 12 locations in the US it's going to go to, and when they are coming there.
You think that's a concert tour?
I think so. I
don't think so.
I think she's doing something. Did you know that you could do this on her website?
So I didn't do it, but I think other people have done it, because these cities
where they're like scrambled,
she put orange doors in these cities, and there's more secrets.
Yes. And so I think she's going to do, here's what I think.
Okay, tell me.
All right, this is what I think, because, or put it this way, this is what I think, and this is what I think she should do. Okay. So there's something out there. I don't know the right name for it. Would be something like the Taylor Swift economy. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. Taylor Swift created her own economic impact.
Yes.
In the US for sure, but in a lot of European countries as well, like Germany. I remember seeing, tens of thousands of people outside the stadium. And what that means is that wherever she went, she had an economic impact on wherever she did a concert, bigger than any other event that had ever been in that city, barring the Olympics. But in some cities, bigger than the Olympics, the impact, right?
Yeah.
So, and her concerts were giant, almost unattainable, big, huge events. So it would be in her best interest, and this is what I think she's doing, to do something really intimate and small and special and unique. So I think she's going to go to these little towns like Nashville, and that door is going to be there. And that gives you like, I'm going to go to these bars and play a little teeny set and do this like really intimate thing. And it's going to become a thing that tens of thousands of people will descend on Nashville to try to get into it, but they'll still have a great time just being in the aura of her. That's what I think is going to be.
Because you saw that like people who wouldn't get Eras tour tickets would just sit outside the stadium to like listen.
Yes. So I think it's in her best interest to do this, because she almost looks too big and too glassy. Like, I don't know what the right term is. Almost like so unattainable.
It's becoming like unrelatable.
Correct. There's a good. It's so big, like she's dating a football player, and she's like, she has her own jet. I mean, it's like really unattainable. And now she comes back and does this intimate thing, like you're at a small bar in Nashville, and people get to see it. And you didn't get in, but my God, she played at a small bar in front of like 50 people. I think that's what I think is going on here.
I would think that would be the smartest thing that she could do.
Yeah, we'll see if I'm right. But I think if she's got good marketing people around her, that's what she has to do. Because you always have to worry when you become too successful, people backlash and stuff. And then, or they're always looking for something different than what you're providing. I have experience with that, working with not just within rAVe, but also, other companies like Extron and AMX and stuff we had to do to kind of, cycle through so we wouldn't, it's kind of an interesting juggling, being too successful, but also providing the quality of service you want to be able to provide. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cause I think like there's this thing in pop stardom where like no one can stay on top forever.
Yeah. I mean, look, but the good ones go down and come back up.
Yeah.
Madonna, is a good example of that.
Mhm.
Michael Jackson was a good example of that.
Mhm.
Kanye, not a good example of that.
Right.
Like there's, you know,
Yeah.
but maybe he will make a comeback, right? He still has
Well,
plenty of time. Like it's, yeah.
he's pretty far gone. Like,
I mean, but yeah, you never know, right? I
Right,
mean, Michael Jackson took him like 10, 12 years to
yeah.
do, you know, a decade. You know, I'm trying to think of other examples, but that does happen, right? I mean,
Mhm.
even actors like, you know, John Travolta, you know, he was on the top of the world and everybody was like, oh, another John Travolta movie. And then he disappeared for like 10 years. And then
Yeah.
everybody's like, we got to go see this movie. It's John Travolta, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
citing an older
Nicolas
actor.
Cage is another one that's
Yeah.
his
Nicolas Cage,
stardom.
he went like 20 years and did the exact same movie like 20 times.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared. Now he's out, you know, with a, you know, popular movie. So,
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows?
Because yeah, I agree that you just can't replicate the Eras tour. Like, there's absolutely no way. And like, how would she do something?
Right. So she shouldn't even try.
Yeah.
Right. She should like give it a rest. You know, she made billions of dollars on it. Give it a rest and do something different and just do something intimate and then wait a decade and then do it again because yeah. So, I mean, it's different because she's one person. Coldplay, who's played concerts for 25 years. It's 4 people.
Yeah.
So it's not as tiring because you're not by yourself. You know, you're
like, I've seen Chris Martin up there. He gets really sweaty.
He no question, but it is hard. Like I just go back to that interview with Sia where she talked about the worst part of a concert tour is the fact that you're by yourself most of the time.
Yeah.
Unless you're one of those people that just goes out and parties all the time, which most people aren't because it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So you just get really lonely. And, you know, so it's different for her because it took a lot out of her, even though she made a lot of money, it took a lot out of her to just disappear from all her friend group and everything going on and just go do this thing. Cause you got to put yourself in the zone. Right. So
I just don't think that that's sustainable to do like every couple of years anyway. So,
right.
Well, Gary, I will keep an eye on. I will.
All right. We'll see what
sure
right.
to tell you if you're right. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
See you later, everyone. Thanks
for watching.
For being our producer and listening to us. Take care. Bye.
It's the weekly show about rAVe with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.